And for more now on the advances of the peace process, we're going to turn to our correspondent in Colombia, in Bogota, Natalia Margarita. Natalia, are you there?
Yeah, hi, Cody.
Hey, Natalia.
Bolivia TV.
To search for the missing is a huge step in this peace process. Since sort of depending on the source we're talking to here, we're talking about the relatives of between 45,000 or nearly 100,000 still searching for their loved ones. How significant is this agreement?
Regarding the number, those numbers that you mentioned are not necessarily contradictory. So when we talk about over 100,000, here we're talking about the people that have been reported missing here in Colombia. Now, the 45,000 correspond to the people that have gone missing within the armed conflict, right? So we're talking about 45,000 that have been forcibly disappeared in the wake of Colombia's armed conflict. Now, this number, however, implies what might be a great or significant under-recorded number, because it's a number that is just counting the people that have been forcibly disappeared since 1985. So we're talking about the last 30 years and not the 50 years of Colombia's armed conflict. This announcement that you were mentioning, Cody, represents, of course, a great step towards the truth. That is what most of the victims here in Colombia have been demanding in the wake of the current peace process. Those relatives of those 45,000 or around 45,000 people that have disappeared, have been forcibly disappeared, have been demanding not just that the bodies of their beloved ones are located and identified, but also to know exactly what happened. Who took away those relatives, and what exactly happened, where the bodies were left, and why they were disappeared. So to start seeking for these people implies for the victims and the relatives of those who have disappeared a great step towards the truth, which it's a pressing issue and has always been a pressing issue since this peace process began back in 2012, Cody.
And Natalia, we talk a lot about the FARC, and it can be easy to forget that other armed groups exist there in Venezuela that also hope to reach a peace agreement. Now, recently, the National Liberation Army, ELN, has asked to participate more directly in peace talks. Explain to us, if you will, who are the ELN and how do they fit into this process of peace in Colombia?
When we talk about the ELN, we're talking about the second largest guerrilla in Colombia. It's important to clarify that the ELN and the government have been holding the so-called exploratory dialogues. What this means that they are not officially under negotiations yet, but they have been approaching, both sides have been approaching each other to define an agenda. And this, what we call here in Colombia, this exploratory period also happened in the case of the FARC, because before they officially start this current peace process, the FARC and the government, before 2012, when the negotiations officially started, they were also holding for also around 2 years, these exploratory dialogues. The main outcome expected from these exploratory dialogues or exploratory period, it's an agenda, a clear agenda that contains or is expected to contain the points that specifically will be eventually negotiated in an official negotiation table.
And we know you'll continue to keep us posted. Natalia Margarita reporting from Bogota. Natalia, thanks.
Back to you, Cody.